We know you love us, but the information on our podcast is provided for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional advice of any kind. If you or anyone you know needs professional help, please seek mental health services. Welcome to the Date Podcast, the show for anyone navigating the dating and relationship world. We interview celebrities, talk pop news, discuss dating do's and don'ts, and debate relationship topics. We are available on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Please subscribe and review if you like what you hear. Check out our website, datepodcast.com, for more information. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, let's get on with the show.
It's Emma.
Hey, it's Zorric.
Host of the Date Podcast. And we're excited for the show because we have a guest.
Yeah. Who do we have today?
We have Sydney Washington.
Nice. We know her.
Who we've known for two years?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did we meet you?
The Great Love Debate, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll talk to Sydney about the Great Love Debate and events and adventures, correct?
Correct.
And then
Yes.
your life and
My life.
what the heck's going on with you. We haven't seen you in forever. Time to catch up. So what else, Emma? Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. And then we'll talk about the news first.
Yep.
But how's your day going, Emma?
Wait, really?
What do you mean, really? I'm trying to warm up here. How was your day?
Fine.
Okay. Fine. All right. Go to your news. Go ahead.
All right. So, the quarantine beloved.
What?
So exotic. Just can't stay off the news. Sydney, did you watch the documentary Tiger King?
Reluctantly, yeah. I did watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you enjoy it?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
I watched it so that I had something to talk about. I felt left out when my friends would talk about it. So I had to know what was going on.
So Zorric and I have not watched it. I think I watched the first episode and it was too cringy for me. And that was it.
Okay. What about it?
But by talking about it, because it keeps being on the news, which I just think is so weird, like pop culture references. And so, he is in jail because apparently he's serving a 22-year jail sentence because apparently he was hired to murder Baskin, I think the husband or something. And so with him being in jail, all of his assets have been on sale. And so basically what happened is that they gave his Oklahoma park to Carol Baskin. So she owns it now. And so she took ownership, except that so she basically has the animals, but the actual park in Oklahoma is closing. And so I saw the news that it was basically so now that the old zoo or the park is going to be used as a private film set for all the things that are Tiger King related.
Oh, really? What is there that's Tiger King related?
Okay.
Tigers?
So there's a few things coming up.
Okay.
Okay. So one of them is called an Animal Planet documentary called Surviving Joe Exotic, which is about the stories of the big cats that were kept at that park.
Okay, nice.
And then Investigation Discovery is going to do a limited series that's going to focus on the disappearance of Baskin's ex-husband. Because all of a sudden, what I, because I read enough, I feel, but what I understood is that Carol Baskin's first husband, just disappeared and they've never found him. And so everyone that watches the show basically thinks that she fed him to her tigers or her
1,000,000%.
cats
Definitely
or whatever.
did. She 1,000,000%
Huh?
did. That's like, I will watch. Who did you say is doing that? Who's doing the special on that? Because I will be watching.
Investigation Discovery.
Okay, yeah, no, I 1,000,000% believe that she did that. So I'm excited. This is great
Right,
news.
because she
to find
talks
out.
about like the you have to put them in like tuna oil or something for them to eat you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's the whole show is so crazy. Like everything, not just that. There's so many things on that show where I watched it all in one day, which was a lot to digest. But so yeah, no, that was like, I would say one of like the bigger things though, and I am still so intrigued by it. So I'll definitely be tuning into investigation.
So America's sweetheart, Nicolas Cage, whom we all,
Wait a
I'm sure,
second.
love and adore so much.
Nicolas Cage. Where did that come from, sweetheart? America's sweetheart.
That's sarcasm, Zorric.
Oh my gosh. How many times have I talked about Nicolas Cage and his movies?
I think every single time as we talk about like how
like-
bad his acting is.
He's like, yeah, it's almost as bad as Jason Momoa. Almost as bad, right? But
Don't talk about him.
But you guys just drool over him, and that's why you guys love watching his movies. Is that
Yeah.
true? Okay.
Okay, but Nicolas Cage is like plans to play Joe Exotic in a TV series.
I think it's perfect. I think it's so perfect. I don't think anyone else could play him except for Nicolas Cage. I think it's so perfect.
And I think if I'm gonna watch anything, it's gonna be that.
I think so. I think so too. I think it's going to be his best performance ever. He's going to win like an Oscar or something, or Emmy, whatever it is.
If he wins, like, if he gets like an ego from it, like, I'm just going to like, I don't know, like, I'm gonna lose it. If he gets in his Emmy, no, it's an EO, so you'll need like an Emmy and an Oscar from it. Unless it's a musical, then he can get a Grammy and a Tony.
Well, if you look at Joe Exotic, I don't remember his Joe Exotic's mustache.
Oh yeah.
Nicolas Cage, I think he was cast for his like ability to grow a mustache. The only reason. But it's probably going to be good. We'll see. We'll see.
And then she's actually America's sweetheart, I feel, Kate McKinnon from SNL.
Yes.
She is set to play Carol Baskin in a separate miniseries.
Oh, God.
No way.
Yeah.
They're just milking this for
That's
everything.
like spot on too, though. I feel like.
Yeah. Although there's another girl on SNL, and I think her name is Chloe. She does a really good impression of Carol Baskins.
Okay.
But I just think it's so crazy that it's like, yeah, they're milking the Zorric, like, for sure. And the fact that they have this dude, they're like, well, like, let's use it, but let's use it to portray everything about them instead, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
Well, when you're on a roll, you have something good, just freaking milk it. Just, make as many TV shows as you can about this. And plus, it's hot right now, right? So I wouldn't wait too long. I would get this out as soon as possible.
Well, I'm sure
Right.
it's
Right.
happening as soon as they can get the ball rolling.
All right. What's next, Emma?
Well, I never know how I feel about like celebrities breaking up, but at the same time, when you have a beautiful like Scottish man, you are kind of like, okay, that's fine.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
He's English.
Never mind. Who's Scottish? Who's Scottish, Sydney?
I don't know. I'm like trying to guess who you're talking about, and I don't know.
Gerard Butler.
Oh, Gerard Butler. You can't even tell he's Scottish or has an accent until he speaks. in an
My
interview.
gosh, and then it's so hot and beautiful and yummy.
He's
and
a good actor for sure.
My gosh. And like my biggest fantasy is like getting married to a Scottish man or an Irish man, and they have to wear the kilt at the wedding. Like, boom. Like that marriage is gonna be forever.
Because he
Put
wears a
that
skirt.
kilt on. Huh?
Because he wears a skirt. Is that why it's gonna be forever?
Because it's so, I don't know why I think kilts are so hot on men. Like I love a
All right,
kilt on a man.
Sydney, is it hot if a man is wearing a skirt? Yes or no?
That's never been something I've gotten excited over. Ever.
Oh.
I don't think it ever will be. But like I can see the appeal. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
I gotta say
I don't
though,
look
like
down
when
on
you,
it.
because I go, like this past year obviously it didn't happen, but I tend to go see like the Highland Games, like here in Dallas, and you have like a bunch of like athletes like wearing kilts and like throwing things around and just being like men, and they're just like, ooh, like they're just like strong and just like they throw like cabers in the air, and you're just like, this is really hot. So for me, like I associate the kilt with like strong, like manly men who can throw things, and I'm like, if you're this good about throwing things, like I just want to think about how hot it is when you throw me around, you know? Like that's my
Well, what if it's a guy who is not buff and he's like he's skinny and he's wearing a skirt?
no, my fantasy is only for very strong athletes wearing skirts, wearing kilts.
I think it's because they're so manly that they have to like tone down their manliness with a skirt. I mean, I wish I was like that. I mean,
Okay, yeah.
With a kilt.
If it's a manly athlete, then like this is different.
Yeah.
Then like I can support that.
yeah.
I think part of it, I don't know, like I can get really into Scottish culture because I like am fascinated by it. But there's just something about that, you know, that tartan and that kilt and then that outfit. And like when I went to Scotland and we were at the Highland Games and just seeing like all these men in kilts, like I was just in heaven, and I was just
Oh
like,
my
I'm going to
gosh.
hit on you, and I'm going to hit on you, and I'm going to hit on you.
Okay. Anyways, Gerard
All right, that's
Butler.
enough of that.
Okay, Gerard Butler.
So Gerard Butler has, you know, he's separated from his girlfriend of 6.5 years together, Morgan Brown. So they've been together for 6 years, and now they're not together anymore.
Morgan Brown. I'm trying to see what she looks like.
She
I know about this
is a real estate developer and designer from California. She's really
yeah.
pretty, though.
Yeah, she's good looking. I mean, I think they're both gonna have no problem. I mean, Gerard is Gerard, obviously. But
Gerard Butler, I'm free and available.
yeah, we'll make that happen, Emma. We'll try to make that happen.
This beautiful Texan girl loves a beautiful Scottish man.
We'll find him. All right. What else?
And I also would like to have babies. So,
Sounds good.
okay. So I wanted y'all's take on the following story because I read it and I kind of had to do like a double take on it. Like, what? So, so y'all know Stacey Dash. You know, she played. Oh my gosh.
Clueless.
Yeah, she was in Clueless, but what was her?
Stacey Dash.
Stacey Dash. She wasn't Cher. Oh my gosh. D? No.
She was. I'm looking it up too.
Why am I blanking?
I don't.
Do you know this?
That's like
Sydney?
slightly, just like I've seen the movie. It's like a little bit before my time though, for me to be like,
Oh.
you know, with all of the characters and like knowing the actors. I know like the movie and I know the premise and the plot, but I don't know who's who.
Yeah. So what about her?
Anyway, so Stacey, she played Dion. Oh my gosh, there it goes, Dion. So I was kind of right. So she married this guy, Jeffrey Marty, in 2018. However, this past June, she filed for divorce, but now he's claiming that he was like hypnotized into marrying her.
But hold on. So I think, you know, if you're into a woman, I mean, I can call that being hypnotized. Come on, Sydney. If you're into a man, I mean, you could even claim that too. But
That's very interesting.
So hold on, there's more to this story. So in the court documents, he claims that they married after knowing each other for 10 days because Stacey's pastor, and this is in quotes, unexpectedly and suddenly proclaimed that it was God's will for them to tie the knot. So he said that his ability to consent to the marriage was, quote, influenced by hypnotic prayer technique, end quote.
That's odd, but that's it sounds legit. I mean, if you need to get out, I mean, you'll say the craziest stuff. to get out of it, right? I mean, so what's
Right?
happening? What's happening with the? Is it happening or?
Well, I mean, right now they're, I guess they're trying to get this. It's not divorce. I'm reading it, but I can't remember what it is. But basically, yeah, they're divorcing, and so like this is what he's alleging. But Stacy's the one who filed for divorce in June, and then there was also an incident of like alleged domestic violence, and it was her against him.
Oh, okay. So we don't know the story.
Right, we don't know the story, but I just like read it and I was like, what do you mean like you were hypnotized? I just thought that was strange.
Well, I think men will say anything to get out of something. Like we will make up the biggest story or a lie. But I don't know. We don't know the story, so yeah.
Right. All right. So do I have permission, Zorric, that if you told me you were hypnotized to like push you away from that person?
Yeah, sure. But I feel like every woman has hypnotized me, so I'm gonna use that from now on. Use that from now on.
I don't know how I feel about leaving you with Sydney and sorry, Sydney.
I'm getting
usually above her.
hypnotized. I'm getting hypnotized.
I feel like it's a little bit of a cop out, but I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So then the last news is good news. So John Legend and Chrissy Teigen have announced their third baby, and they did it in a really cool way. So he actually released a music video for one of his new songs this past week, and in the music video, the song is called Wild, and in the music video, they she's like pregnant in the music video, so it was, it's kind of cool to see it and witness it. And of course, and so she's like, she's announcing it all over social media now, and so they're very excited to have their third child because they had to go through in vitro for the first two, and so they were unsure, if they could conceive a third child, and then it happened. So congratulations to them. They have like beautiful children.
Well, good for them. Isn't that, Sydney, like the biggest turn on, a guy who can sing?
John Legend, like not only can he sing, he can also play the piano. I don't know. I love him. My parents love him, so I like grew up listening to John Legend. And yeah, no, he has an insane voice. I love Chrissy Teigen. Their Christmas special last year was the year before.
Really?
It was really cute. Yeah, no. So I think they're like the cutest family ever. I think they're like family goals. So love them.
Family goals.
For sure.
Yep.
Their kids look so
All
much
right,
like them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Cute family. I'm looking at them right now. Okay. All right,
Well, that's
Emma.
all I got, guys.
Emma, you need like a slogan. Is that what you're going to say from now on? That's all I got, guys?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'll think about it.
Okay. All right. So we're not here just for fun and games. We're here to talk to Sydney about some real
Bummer.
stuff. Yeah, we need to talk about stuff to Sydney. So, Sydney. Hi.
Hi.
So we met you again 2 years ago at the Great Love Debate. How did you get into the Great Love Debate?
It's from my job.
Okay.
So, Brian, the producer of the show, Brian Howie, who I think he's been on here before, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's our friend.
Yeah, he's like worked with Events and Adventures before, which is who I work for, and it's actually kind of a funny story. I remember it was probably 2 months after I started working at ENA, and I got this email from him. And he was like, I have no idea who he is. So I just have this email saying like, hi, I'm Brian. I do this show. And it's a rite of passage for all of the event managers. You have to come on the show and I'm just going to throw questions at you. And I was like, what do you mean? And it was kind of terrifying, but it's been like so fun. You get different, obviously it's a different crowd. I love how interactive it is. And you get a different crowd every time. And so you have different questions, and going over people's dating profiles is always fun. So yeah. But yeah, no, I was kind of just thrown into it. But he's awesome, and the panel's always awesome, and the audience is so fun.
Yeah. So before that, how did you get into events and adventures?
Before that, so I was in college, and I majored in advertising and public relations. And I think when I was in college, like I would always find myself like planning things for people. Like I'd plan someone's birthday dinner, and I was always planning trips and everything we did. Like I just always found myself in charge. And sometimes it was fun. Sometimes I was like, someone else should do this. But I think that's when I really like realized how much I love to plan events. Just to see them like actually like everything come together and everything work out. It's like you get kind of like a high. Like it's weird. It might just be me.
Yes.
It might just be me.
Like
I don't know.
planner's high.
Yeah. You like spend so much time. I always say this about my wedding. I'm gonna have like the worst like post-wedding depression because I'm gonna put so much like time and energy into my wedding, and then it's gonna happen. I'm gonna be like, wait, no, we need to do it again because you just put so much into it, and then it's gone in a day. But also at the same time, you get to kind of see like all of that hard work and like everybody else enjoying the event. I think I like really started to realize that events were kind of my forte, to say, in college. And so like once I graduated, I started looking for jobs like in that realm, and I found ENA.
So when you were a kid or in high school, were you planning like parties and events and the party person basically?
I wasn't crazy in high school. I was not like, I was in the straight and narrow, so like I would come home, I'd do my homework, and go to bed. But at the same time, I think I've always had that like planning mentality. So if we were doing something, like I would like pick the restaurant and like the time, and I'd coordinate with everybody. So my parents have told me that forever. They're like, you like that is what you need in a friendship, in a relationship. Like you have to kind of like be the one in control. And that like sounds kind of bad, I guess, but I've always found that like everything kind of like flows after I start putting it in motion.
So is this in every aspect of your life, even dating?
Yeah.
Like you're like, hey, we're going to eat here.
That's what we're doing. If you're not down, it's not happening.
Oh,
I'm
my
cool with
goodness.
it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have like a checklist on the first date and you're checking off it like, like?
Not really. Not really. I think I go into like a first situation like pretty open-minded, because nowadays like you don't know who you're gonna meet or what the vibe is gonna be. So you have to go into it kind of open-minded, because I'm like naturally a really picky person, and so if I go into things with like, this is my list and you have to check this and this off, then like it's gonna end horribly for me. And that's how it was, I think, for a while.
Wait, so what are the top 3 things on your list right
goodness.
now? Top 3.
That's really hard.
Top 3.
That's so hard.
Must-haves.
Okay, let me think.
It can't be play the piano. It can't be that.
Okay, I think the most important thing is like someone who is like loyal and honest. I feel like that's so hard to find nowadays.
Oh, you have so little faith with us.
No.
Oh
No. I really, it might be like me personally, just like things I've experienced in my past, but loyalty and honesty is probably my number one. Like definitely my number one.
Of course.
That's kind of hard to like gauge on a first date, because you can say whatever you want on a first date. You can be whoever you want on a first date, which is why it's sometimes fun to go on those, even if you're like not into it. You're like, I can be a totally different person tonight. I'm kind of bored. I'm in quarantine. Let's be a whole new person tonight. So it's kind of hard to gauge that on the first date. But another big thing I think is personality. I think personality is so important. Personality and like humor. Yeah. So if you have that.
Loves to laugh, right? You write that on your profile.
Laugh.
Loves to laugh.
Yeah, that's what I write.
Yeah.
Loves to laugh.
Last one. Third. Must have.
Okay. I'm like super spontaneous. Like I will make it's kind of weird because I'm an event planner, so I obviously plan things out months in advance. Sometimes for some of our events, not years, but a year in advance. And so I'm a planner for sure, but also like there are times when I'm like, okay, I just want to go
do
like,
whatever,
on a weekend
right?
trip.
Yeah.
And so I need someone to like match that energy. And if like I don't need you to be as spontaneous as me, but I need you to like be down if I suggest it. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are pretty, important things.
Yeah.
Right? That
Yeah.
you're talking
Sorry,
about.
are you all of those three things?
No, I'm not. No. Definitely not spontaneous for sure. No, I am sometimes. But so were you in long-term relationships when you were younger, or were you just dating around, or like what was
No,
your?
I don't really do long-term
Oh, really?
relationships.
That's a marriage, right?
That's a
Long-term
What
relationship.
marriage, yeah.
is long term though?
I think
like,
long-term is more than like 6 months.
Okay.
Okay.
After that,
That's long-term.
after that, you're out, or you kind of know it's not going to work out at that point.
Yeah, I think I'm out after 6 months.
Oh, really?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think well, I don't know. I also have this like bad habit of like keeping people around for even longer than that, but just not like you just kind of keep I'm not trying to use the word string along. I'm not trying to say that. But you just keep them around because it's comfortable and it's safe.
String
you know?
along. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
string along.
You can use
Love
that
it.
word.
or safety blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love a
another
safety
reframe.
blanket.
Yeah. So in high school and college, you nothing long term more
No.
than more
No, no,
than.
no.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So were you planning things in college too before you got into?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All the time. Like we would every tiny event. Like I remember we came back from like Christmas break one time and we were like, okay, so we need to have like a back to school party, and we like
nice.
would make these intense Facebook pages with like cover photos, and we were like, okay, well the cover photo has to be perfect or no one's gonna want to like we put
Yeah.
so much effort into it, and I was super OCD about it. But yeah, that was like it ended up being like I would have like my stuff I was doing for school, and then I would be like, okay, it's April 14th. Like, can we have like an April 14th party? Like, can we be like, it's April 14th, let's have a party.
Yeah.
So literally any excuse to plan something like that is what I was doing in college.
But
so
does
my
it have
parents
to,
loved it.
Does it have to turn out perfect? These events.
Not all, well, in my career, ideally. Back in college, obviously it's a little different. You're just like hoping that that everything's okay and no one goes to the hospital.
I see.
That's basically like the thing in college. But otherwise, I am like pretty OCD and I am a perfectionist, and my friends hate it. But yeah, no, ideally it goes great and it goes perfect. But if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world.
Emma, she's a 1. You
What's a
think?
one?
Yeah.
The
Have you ever
Enneagram.
taken the Enneagram?
I haven't.
Yeah, you should. You definitely sound like a 1. You have very like perfectionistic like tendencies. It's like the
Okay.
overachiever, but it also has like but I feel like you're either going to be like a 3-wing 1 or you're going to be a 1-wing 3, which basically like Zorric and I are both 3s where it's like
We're
all about like
performers.
the
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so then it's sort of like you're the overachiever and it has to look like really pretty. And it, or, vice versa, like it has to look really pretty and you have to make sure that like everything's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a 3 with a 1 wing. So that means like,
Okay.
so you and I are very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a therapist, by the way, so she talks about this all the time.
I'm gonna have to like take this test. Is
Yeah.
this just something I Google and take?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
free too. It's free.
I can text it to you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Because it's
Thank
weird
you.
spelling.
Okay, cool.
Well,
yeah.
number 1 is by definition a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I see that your due diligence and your planning, like they all turn out great. That's what I'm seeing.
That's
I like how
so good.
Zoric's like, Emma's a therapist, but he's the one that like mentioned it and brought it up. And he's the
But
one
it's
that,
fun to
like,
talk
is
about.
using it to analyze,
It
you
is,
know?
It is. Oh, okay. So you got the job at Events and Adventures. How was that interview? Is it pretty easy? Some
It's-
people interview well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It was super laid back, super chill. That's like it kind of like gave me a nice vibe of like what the job would be like and what the company's like. Because I think at the end of the day, like it's all about like no pressure dating, no pressure making friends. And so like coming into the interview, it was also no pressure and it was awesome.
Is this a singles group or is it just more of a social group or both?
It's both. It is a singles group, so you have to be single to be a member. So they get interviewed, And
what's the question? Interview me.
I know. I wish.
Process then.
I
So
actually.
so you have to apply to get interviewed though, right?
So you would you go to the website, you sign up to right now I believe they're only doing virtual interviews just with everything going on.
Do you know one question? Like
I don't I used to back like when we were still in the office and all that good stuff. I would talk to our membership manager and he would like want to know, we would always touch base like weekly and be like, okay, because at the end of the day, he's showing them like the events that I'm putting on. That's kind of how he's encouraging them to sign up. And so I would show him like the events I have, and it was always really one-sided. And at some point I was like, okay, wait, can you like interview me? Like, can I want to like come in and be a potential member and get interviewed? And we're always so busy, but like for forever, I was like, I'm gonna walk into the office one day and I'm gonna say, my name is not Sydney. I am here for an interview, and I'm gonna go into your office and you're gonna be confused, but you're gonna sit down and interview me. And it never happened, so I still don't really know any of the specific questions. Obviously they ask questions. It's what's really great about it is they do background checks. So versus like dating apps, you don't know what you're getting yourself into when you go out on a date with somebody that you met on an app. So what's nice about ENA is the background check's already been run for you. The interview process is actually a full hour.
Oh, so what do you?
Whoa!
Yeah.
What do you mean by background check? So like criminal history?
Yeah, they run all of it.
Credit?
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Please.
I'm pretty sure that's not on there. But yeah, no, it's a full hour. They like to say that like you can really see who a person is after an hour. So we obviously want to make sure everybody is someone that's actually gonna like come to events. Like we want people to contribute and to get to meet people and get to know people. And so that's kind of nice is that the membership team kind of takes the vetting process away from you, because nowadays you go on a dating app and you're like, okay, I found this guy and we're supposed to go out, and then you text all your friends and you're like, I need to know every single thing about this man, and everybody's like, okay, I'm on it. And you have friends that are low-key and they're off time FBI agents, and they can figure out some crazy things, but you don't get to know everything. So that's what's nice about the interview process is the membership team really gets to know the people that come in to interview, and they really get to kind of vet them.
So do they look at the current group and say, hey, this person might fit the group, or this person might mesh well with these three people?
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, number one, our membership is huge. In Dallas, we have over 2,000 members. So it's kind of so it's kind of hard to like look at the specific group. But what I always tell, especially our newer members, is that membership really like ebbs and flows. So at sometimes like you might have like a big group like of like women that have joined recently, and like the guys are like, this is amazing, we've got a bunch of new girls here. Like it really just ebbs and flows. It just depends. And we're signing up members every single day. We're adding members every day. So that's another great thing is like you could go to an event and be like, I made some really good friends, some really good connections here. I don't know if there's a love connection here, but there's an event every single day of the week. So there's always
every day.
Wow.
Every single day.
Oh my goodness, that's
Every
pretty
day.
good.
Yeah.
So do you help people, I guess, talk to each other, or if you see a match, like, oh, these two might work out?
So we're not like, and that's something I always have to like really, really stress to people, is we're not like a matchmaking service. So obviously in my head, I have ideas and I'm like, oh my gosh, this member that I've known for the last year and this new guy would be great together. And every once in a while I'll be like, hey, you should go figure that out. But for the most part, that's the biggest thing about it is it's no pressure and it's no stress. So the biggest thing is like especially like newer members, like I'll be at events and I'll see them kind of start to like infiltrate into these friend groups, and that's I think the best thing about ENA is that they become friends first, and then I'll like be on my Facebook page and I'm scrolling down and it's like so and so's in a relationship with so and so.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, oh, I knew it. So that's what's really awesome about it, is just the fact that it's like friendship first, because obviously the best relationships come from friendships. And it doesn't always happen that way. It's not strictly, that's not the way it goes down every time. But that's what's so nice about it is they're at these events with like big groups, and it takes away the pressure of it. Because if I could take a friend on a first date, I would 1,000,000% do that every time, because that's what's so scary about it is you're just out there.
I've done it, and it was a train wreck.
Really?
Yeah. I won't ever do that again.
What did you do? What was the date?
What did you do, Emma?
So we went out to dinner, and it was just me and him. And then later on, like, my best friend at the time, like, showed up and then hung out with us for the rest of the dinner. And so he was just like, that was the worst date I've been on. And I was like, sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, there's no sparks here either. So I don't know, it was just awkward, and I don't know, like, I didn't like it, so I won't recommend it for myself.
But do you see, Sydney, where there's a new person in the group and all of a sudden everyone flocks to that person because that person's new?
Not so much like they're like fresh meat.
Yeah,
but
like.
No, I think it's more of like
someone new.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's more of like everybody's super welcoming, and we have members that are new. Obviously, people are signing up all the time, but we also have members that are lifetime members, so they're members like forever, and they've been members for a while, and they'll be members for as long as they want to be. And that's what's so cool about it is even members that have been around for a long time and they've established their groups and their friendships and their relationships, they're still so eager to meet other people. And so they'll like go out of their way to meet these new people at different events. Like that's kind of why you sign up, is to meet new people.
Oh yeah, for sure. So if I'm a single man, okay, I sign up. What happens?
You are a single man.
I am a single man, but the question is, do I get like a calendar of events?
Yeah.
Or?
So basically, once you sign up, you have full access to every calendar, not just so you live in Dallas, so obviously you'd be looking at the Dallas calendar for the most part. But let's say, where do you travel anywhere frequently?
No.
Okay. Well, let's say you.
Super interesting. Obviously.
Let's say you go to San Francisco a lot, or like you're on a business trip. We have cities all around. So
I do go to San Francisco a lot. Honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have an office. We have an office in or a clubhouse in San Francisco and in Santa Clara as well. So you have access to the full Dallas calendar. As I said, there's events every single day. Every single day. There's never an off day. But then also if you're traveling and you're in San Francisco or Denver, Chicago, or any of the places where we have clubhouses, then you have access to those calendars too. And you can go to those events too. And you get to meet people from all around, which is crazy.
What if I said, hey, Sydney, I like this girl over here. Can you talk to her for me?
So
does that work that way?
I mean, well, obviously that happens all the time.
Can you get her number for me?
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, like we're not so much matchmaking.
Okay.
So I'm not just out here giving people's information to people. Like I don't give anyone's phone number, anyone's information, obviously.
So you tell Zorric you be a grown man and you go ask her for her number.
And it happens a lot. Like I get a lot of messages that's like, hey, what's their phone number? And I'm like, okay, I can't give you their phone number, but like there are certain events where you can go with people that are like her, where you can meet people like her. You can probably see her again. It's kind of tricky because people obviously ask that. Yeah. And it's not, I don't think it's like a ludicrous question to ask. Yeah. I don't think it's crazy, but also I'm not going to give out unless it's mutual. I'm not going to give out that information, but it does happen. It does happen. But the thing is there's events every day, so the odds of you running into that person again are quite high. Yeah. So.
Or I can say, hey, Sydney, is she a criminal? you know her background.
Well, that's the thing is if they're an ENA member, then you know they're not a criminal because they wouldn't be a member.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. Yeah. Yeah, you don't even have to worry about that. No stress.
So you say, so there's a calendar, right? And so like tonight there's something at 7 o'clock. So we just show up and we just hang?
It actually is at 7 o'clock tonight.
Oh.
So for example, tonight we have sand volleyball, and that's something we do we kind of pride ourselves as event managers. So as event managers, we create our own calendars every month. It's really nice to have like that creative freedom and all that good stuff. But sand volleyball is something we do every single Wednesday. We like to like really mix it up and do crazy different things. But sand volleyball is something that's like a tradition with events and adventures. So as long as it's warm outside, so probably from like March to October, I would say, in Texas, we're playing sand volleyball every Wednesday. And we have an awesome venue we've been going to for forever. And that's actually one of the events that I suggest to newer members, like when they first join, because there's such like so many people. Like, I am not athletic at all, but people will go and hang out. They have a full bar and like a menu, so you can hang out and you meet people that are like into like athletics. They're like out there playing volleyball. Props to them, not me. And then you meet the people like me that are by the bar, and you're like a friend. So there's an event every single day, and so we actually have hosts that kind of help to carry out the event, which is why I'm here and not at sand volleyball.
Oh, okay.
So,
Delegation, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think volleyball is such an aphrodisiac because you're sweating, there's
Oh.
T-shirts off.
Honestly, yeah. Oh, the amount of shirts that come off at volleyball, it is crazy. It'll be cold, like, because sometimes I'll reluctantly put it on the calendar, even though it's cold outside. They still want to do it.
Oh, of course.
And I'm like, okay, you can.
I would
I'll
work
put it
out
on
all
there.
week for that.
No,
I mean, I would
the
get ready.
shirts that come off, it's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, you're definitely right.
Nice, nice. So every day of the week, you're saying, right? All year?
All
Is
year.
that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Every
nice.
single day.
Do you guys
We have-
take any holidays off?
We honestly, we have Thanksgiving dinners on Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's every single day.
Is that like at a place or like a house or?
For the most part, we use I know in the past we've done like at like a Chinese restaurant because like they're always open. But for the most part,
Obviously.
for the most part, as long as I've been the event manager in Dallas, we'll do it at a member's house and we'll kind of make it like a potluck. Yeah.
That's so cool, like a Friendsgiving.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
thing.
that's the name of the event actually is Friendsgiving, and it's nice because not everyone has family in Dallas. We have a
Yeah.
lot of members that, especially like people that are new members. They're new members because they're new to the area, and so some people can't travel home for holidays. So yeah, we always do something. We do things on Christmas Day. It's crazy. It's every day.
So your social life is pretty packed. You have something.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty packed.
How do you
yeah.
date during
Yeah.
this?
It's really
time?
difficult.
Have you dated?
really difficult.
You can't. You don't have to answer this, but have you dated somebody in the thing?
I have not, but it's something
Yeah.
that happens a lot. We have event managers that date members frequently.
Oh,
like it's happened.
so it's
for
okay.
Sure.
It's okay.
Oh yeah,
It's not a big
okay.
deal.
It's not like frowned upon
Yeah.
or anything.
You should get married with some, and then you'd be like the poster child of this company. You would work there forever. You'd be like CEO.
Our owner is actually our owner of the company has actually officiated weddings of like members
Oh,
or staff
wow.
members. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so. It's
How many
it's
of
kind
those
of more like a
marriages are still
family.
together? Like,
You
I'm
know,
just curious
I don't know.
what
I'd
they
have to
do.
do some research.
Yeah.
That might have been before my time here at ENA. But yeah, no, it's crazy. It's kind of just like a family. Like everybody knows everybody, which is another reason why it's so awesome.
Nice. So besides volleyball and Friendsgiving, what else can we do? What else
Uh-huh. Oh my
can I have
goodness.
fun at?
So much. We just did a party barge last weekend on Lake Louisville. One of those
Ooh,
like double decker
nice.
boats. Those are my
Shirts
favorite.
off. Shirts off.
Shirts off. Shirts off. Some fun in the sun. It's a good time. We like go out on the water, and it's
Yeah.
it's got a water slide, and you can dive off the deck, and
Nice.
we've got a DJ. Like it's crazy. It's a good time. It's
Oh
my
my gosh.
It's my personal favorite.
But
event
that's
of
so
the summer.
Texan.
It really is.
So Texan.
It
That's
really
great.
is.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
so much fun.
What about bars? Like, what are your go-tos here in Dallas?
Like outside of the events that I plan right now, it's kind of hard to plan and to personally go to bars. But yeah, no, I live in Uptown, and so I conveniently live above a good little line of bars. And so there's a few that I used to frequent. I don't remember what it's like. That seems like a past
It's a
life.
long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
I don't want to bring this up, but so how have your events been because of COVID?
So, okay, in the beginning, it was obviously like right when quarantine started. We were like, whoa.
Yeah, what-
Because like
what do
our
we do?
whole like our bread and butter is events. We have events every day of the week, and that's just what we do. And so basically kind of overnight, I would say, all of the event managers put together, like in all different cities, because each city has an event manager, we all put together a virtual event calendar.
Okay.
And so we have been doing virtual events. And now obviously we're back to our in-person events. With
Like Zoom type things.
Zoom, yeah.
Zoom, okay.
Zoom is our new best friend. Yeah, no, we do so many virtual events now, it's awesome. It's crazy. In the beginning, I was like, is this gonna work?
But how does it work though? Like, so you're on a video chat, and then, but only like one person can talk at a time, right?
So that's kind of how we had to like figure out like the type, like the event styles, like the things we wanted to do. And as events and adventures, like our calendar, like we pride ourselves in having a variety of things. Like we're not just going to bars, we're not just doing active things like rock climbing and volleyball. Like we're doing everything from like cooking classes to all that stuff.
Oh, over Zoom.
No, I'm just talking about our
over Zoom.
You could, and we
Yeah.
have. So like that's kind of the approach that we took. Is we were like, we've always been excited about our calendars because there's so much variety in them, and we were like, so we have to make sure that we do that virtually as well. So honestly, I think the biggest things that have worked for us virtually are like we do these insane game nights where like ultimate game night and scavenger hunt bingo and guess who, in the beginning we started with it and we were like, we're just gonna see how this goes, and we were just throwing ideas out, creative things, just throwing anything out and just seeing if it worked. Now that it's been 4 months, we kind of have figured out like what works, and we've kind of stuck to that. But yeah, the virtual events have been wildly popular. We now actually have a membership that they're about to launch that's just for virtual events.
That's a great idea.
Cool, yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
What has been like the most popular like virtual event, or like maybe what's your favorite?
I think
virtual
it's
event?
the game nights, because then you get so
Yeah.
much interaction. Also, Kim Salser has been doing awesome. Yeah, she's been doing awesome flirt workshops for us, which people love.
Nice.
We also have another lady out in Houston that does similar stuff like that for us. So honestly, it's been crazy. The people that love it. We have and it's crazy because people like get to meet people in other cities, which they wouldn't get to do unless they were traveling and happen to be in that city.
Right.
Like there's a Chicago member who is dating a Denver member now,
Oh,
and they met
wow.
on a virtual event. So it's crazy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So these virtual events are not just solely in Texas, like they're open.
Oh, no. Yeah.
nationally.
Yeah. So like each event manager will like kind of host, I'll say, a virtual event. So for example, like I do scavenger hunt bingo a lot. That one has just been my jam since March. So it'll be posted on our calendar, and we now have the same way that I was saying earlier, like you have your Dallas calendar, and like if you were in another city, all the cities have different calendars. Now there's a virtual event calendar. So if I'm at home one night and I'm like, I don't really feel like going out, or I'm not comfortable going out right now, I can go to the virtual calendar, and just like the in-person calendar, there's an event, at least one event, mostly sometimes two, every single day of the week.
Yeah. So is this something you might wind down, when things kind of open up, the virtual stuff?
I
or-
think that's what we thought, but now that we are launching, I think in the beginning we were like, this is just going to be something to hold us over until we're able to go out and do stuff. But now that things have opened back up and we're back to our in-person stuff, and they're launching this virtual only membership, it's definitely not something we're stopping anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see, I guess, what happens with dating and the whole coronavirus thing
Yeah,
and
it's rough.
distance. Do you know personally people that have gotten married from Dallas? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
one of
cool.
my members is about to get married. She was actually a host as well, and she was an incredible host. I was so sad when she got engaged. I was like, don't leave, because once you get married, you can't be a member anymore because it's for singles only.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So you have to be single to work for the company too?
No. Okay,
Oh.
that's a misconception. You do not have to be single to work for the company. You do have to be single to be a member. And so,
Got it, okay.
obviously, we don't want to see them go. But at the end of the day, that's like the whole reason they're there.
Yeah.
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 So how do you pick up members? Because there's meetup groups, there's Facebook groups. Like, do you guys market to a specific area?
Yeah, I believe I'm not super privy on like the advertising and the strategic and all that, but I know that there's whenever I ask members, or when we used to be in the office back in the old days, back 100 years ago,
I know, right?
when we worked in offices, I would hear how they heard about it, and for the most part, I know that they had a lot of ads like on radio. So a lot of people would hear it on the radio, and a lot of them are also referrals too. So they hear about their friends that are doing it and that are members, and then like what's cool about UNA is you can bring a guest to events. So they can bring a guest to an event, and then they're like, wait, this is so fun, and then they sign up. So it's really cool.
So I just turned 21 a week ago.
Oh,
I wish you could have planned my birthday party. But what's the age range for the group?
That's a really common question. It really, like I said, membership ebbs and flows, so it's always different.
Yeah.
Honestly, it depends on the event you go to. So different events attract different age groups. We have thousands of members. So the more active stuff, like our rock climbing and like anything we do at a bar, you're going to get younger members. I would say you have to be over 21 to join.
Okay, obviously.
Yeah. We don't have any 18-year-olds
I meet that bar. Okay,
yeah.
Next.
But it really just depends on the events you go to and the time like that you sign up, because it's always it's ever changing.
Yeah. Do you have like a knitting type event? Because Emma would be there.
No,
obviously.
we don't have any knitting. But if there's a demand, I might make a virtual event.
You would need
about
one
it.
event for one person.
Do you knit, Emma?
I
No way. What if
and I cross stitch? Yeah.
wait, do you really I would love for you to like maybe hop on for like a virtual event and do like a cross stitching situation where you teach everybody how to cross stitch.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of the stuff. Like I've had friends that I have that are bartenders come on and do like virtual mixology classes.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so like I'm always like looking for anyone that has a skill. Amazing. Amazing.
Oh, nice. So as far as like you working there, what are your hours? Because it seems like you just kind of work whenever.
It's kind of, it changes every week, obviously. So I have the events that I host, and then I also have a team of hosts that will go, because obviously it would be crazy if I was at every single event every day. So it really just depends, because I have office stuff to do, like in terms of like the planning the events and money matters and all that good stuff. But then also I go to a lot of events too. So it kind of, that's something I have to do, is like sit down at the beginning of the month or the beginning of the week and be like, okay, what am I going to be at, and like what's my schedule like? Which is another nice thing, is I kind of just like look at my event calendar that I've made a month before, and then I'll kind of set my own calendar based on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if I'm joining your group and I'm a single guy, what do you kind of give me like a debriefing on how to act and what to say and like, or you just kind of just let us go and we just do our thing?
I mean, okay, so we have a new member icebreaker every month, which is nice, because you'll get to meet other new members that have joined recently, and it's always followed up by another event. So we actually just had one this last Saturday. You guys ever played whirly ball?
Yes, we have. Oh, I have. But
Yes.
That's like one of our club favorites. We do that all the time. And so I had our new member icebreaker right before whirly ball, and so I just kind of give them a lowdown like on what the club is like and what they can expect. And I always like to give them good events to attend as like first time members, newer members. And so so I'll give them a little debriefing, and they get a lot of information once they sign up, like from the membership team. They're always able to contact me, obviously. But the new member icebreaker is not mandatory, so not every single new member. I encourage it, but not every single new member will go to that new member icebreaker. So it's really at the end of the day, it's what we always say is like it's kind of like a gym membership. So you sign up, and then it's like up to you to decide, like, are you going to go to these events? Are you going to like make the most of this membership that you've invested in, that you took time out of your day to like really seek out?
Yeah. So what happens when somebody does like get into a relationship? Do they kind of disappear and kind of do their thing?
Not really.
Do they keep hanging out?
Every once in a while, you might have that every now and then. Obviously, that's something that can happen. But for the most part, like a lot of my event hosts will get into relationships, and they're still around. I like the couples. they still come to everything. It's crazy. It's awesome. But they'll couple up with couple friends. They'll have their friends that are still single. That's the biggest thing I think about it. Is that it's so inclusive. Like it doesn't matter where, like who you are, where you've come from. Like they're super welcoming. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Emma and we've had some events, but I think what I love about events is that you'll see people interacting and talking with each other, and maybe a relationship comes out of it.
Yeah.
So that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then back to Brian and the Great Love Debate. Yeah, that was a great experience too, right?
It was.
Because I think so. We met you there, and then you had a big group. I think you had your group there.
Yeah. I had a
was-
group there. I had friends there. It was a good time.
I think it was like 30. I don't know, 20 or 30 people or more, maybe.
Yeah.
And so after, I remember we went to a bar after.
Yeah, the little meet and greet.
Yeah, and there was you guys had a big group, and actually I was talking to people there too. It was you guys were very welcoming, so it was a good time. So yeah, I think I would join it. I'm sure Emma would join it. I'm sure people in Dallas can definitely anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere, no matter where you are.
Especially right now when it's so hard to get out there.
Yeah.
And then with the virtual stuff, like you don't even leave your couch anymore, you guys. You can literally sit on your couch and do
like
nothing.
me.
Yeah, we love it.
Like the number one thing that people are missing or yearning for is that interaction, I think. And I think Events and Adventures does that, and your virtual stuff can really kind of help people out, because it's kind of lonely out there sometimes.
Totally.
Like
especially
after work.
Right now.
Yeah, I just go home and I'll watch Netflix or the Mavs or something or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good time for your company.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah. It was kind of, I think it was something where we were like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? But then I think it ended up being a situation to where, like, once we realized that we could really take advantage of it and make these virtual events and kind of keep everybody, because these people are used to seeing each other every day.
Yeah.
We have events every day.
Yeah.
So the idea, because especially in the beginning, we didn't know how long quarantine was going to last. Like back when quarantine, at least in Dallas, was super serious, we didn't know how long it was going to be. So the virtual events have been awesome in keeping everybody connected and keeping everybody excited about ENA. And now that we've been able to phase back in-person events, it's awesome. It's awesome.
So how have you been because every freaking episode I feel like we talk about coronavirus, but Sydney, how have you been kind of coping with things?
I am not well, you guys.
We're the same.
I'm not a homebody, not a homebody at all. I've not been okay. Just to sum things up, I'm not okay.
So what do you do when you're home? You just kind of watch TV or call people?
I've watched every show on Netflix now. Literally every show.
What's the last? Did you watch Selling Sunset?
I finished the 3rd season today.
I'm almost finished, so
it's good.
But it's
really
a great
good.
show.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've watched everything. I've had to kind of turn to we'll do make your own pizza night, and all our friends will come over and we'll literally toss dough. It's interesting.
Oh, nice. So that's you have your quarantine, right?
Quarantine. Yeah, we got a little squad.
Nice. Are you on dating apps right now?
I'm not. That's one thing that I don't think I.
Wait a second. You can. Why? What is your?
I'm not. Well, because it's that unknown aspect. I just
what do you mean?
I have a fear of the unknown. As I said earlier, I have to be in control of every single aspect.
That's true.
So being on dating apps is just a little scary because I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
I mean, it's just people. That's all.
At the end of the day, there are times when I'm I really want to make one, but for fun, just to scroll through.
I think you should. You should.
It's shocking that I haven't during quarantine.
It is shocking.
Shocking.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard to date.
Used to do it
right now.
It really is.
Because, I'm on, and sometimes we'll go on dates, sometimes we won't, sometimes we'll do a video thing.
Yeah.
So and then you're like, okay, where's this person been, right?
Yeah.
So, I bring my temperatures then.
Bring a thermometer on your first date. Before we interact, I just need to briefly check.
Then I have that bottle of sanitizer and then, wipes on my side.
Please bathe in this before we continue.
Yeah. Then I asked Sydney to do a background check on this person.
Background check. You got to take a bath in hand sanitizer, and I have to take your temperature before we move forward.
and then I take off my shirt because we were at beach volleyball and Events and Adventures.
If you want to take off your shirt, E&A Sand Volleyball Wednesday nights is the place to do it.
Nice. Okay. Emma, shirts, right? Only shirts, not pants. Don't get confused.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I'm not at every single volleyball, but the ones that I have been to, we've kept pants on.
Okay, pants,
so, yeah.
stay on, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. They might get rowdy when I'm not there. So I could be saying this literally in this moment. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my
There's
gosh.
gonna be that one random like dude or woman that like takes off their pants as you're saying this.
Yeah. We got to knock on wood as we're talking about it.
Guys, we've talked for an hour. Oh my gosh. So Emma, what have you learned about Sydney and all her talents?
I didn't realize how similar we were.
We're the same person, I think. I think we're the same person. We need to go get drinks.
Okay. Okay. What else, Emma? Come on. You're on the spot.
Well, it's kind of like I didn't realize that it was so interactive, and especially now that you guys have like adjusted to, the virtual world. So that's those are like two cool things that, that like are appreciated too, because I'm not someone that like wants to get pushed into a relationship. So it's cool that you just can go and hang out and meet people, but there's like no pressure.
Yeah, totally. That's like my biggest thing that I tell people is it's so nice because you don't get stressed out. Like it's no pressure. So there's nothing, you don't have anything to lose. Yeah.
Yeah, and I learned that it's not a singles group.
Yeah, no. I mean, technically everyone's single, so you could call it that. But at the end of the day, it's more about friendships and relationships and just kind of giving everybody the platform to like be successful and show off and do the things they like to do and experience new things.
Yeah, and everyone that I interact with in the group is going to be criminal background free.
Correct. Yes. Sure. I feel like I really need to drive that point home to you. Is there something that's happening? What happened in your past?
Trying to clarify this. No, I went on a date with somebody, and she literally knew my whole background because she did like this. She knew like my social media. She knew how many degrees I had. She knew like everything. It was pretty bold, but she had some stuff that happened to her, and it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's why you don't go on a dating app sometimes, because you meet somebody that has I don't know.
Yeah.
I also learned that you guys have 2,000 members here, which is great.
Yeah.
And that Sydney needs to plan one of our birthday dinners.
Oh, 1,000,000%, you guys. I'm planning one for this Friday for a friend. Surprise. Yeah.
Nice.
So anytime you guys need my services, just let me know. On the house.
I'm hoping that we can celebrate Zorric's birthday in December because I wasn't able to celebrate mine in June. So,
Yeah, no, quarantine birthdays have been not great.
No. Mm-mm. I know. I even my parents got me a cake, and I was like, no singing, no pictures, let's just eat the cake.
It's really rough. My birthday's in October, and we're all going to Miami, and I'm like, are we going to Miami? I don't know.
Yeah,
I think you should. You
I'm going regardlse. I will go and sit on the beach alone, but while practicing social distancing,
obviously,
and wearing a mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's an interesting time.
It is for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sydney, everybody knows who you are. You're you're America's sweetheart, and we need to know from you what's gonna happen with quarantine. Is it just gonna be okay later on? I mean,
my mentality. This is something I've said since college. Is everything is always fine. Everything ends up being fine. You'll look back on things and you're like, things that you stressed about before are not. Like it ends up being fine. So everything's always fine.
You need to write a book or something.
I'm going to write a book.
That is
and it's going to be called Everything's Fine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'll work on it. And this will be the first place I come.
Okay,
I'll come here and I'll chat with you guys.
Yeah, promote your book here, please.
This is where it really sparked. I came up with the idea here. Yeah.
Nice. Could we be in your credits somewhere, please? Thank you.
Yeah. I'll put you guys in the, what's that called at the beginning?
Like I don't know.
I don't either.
Not
the
introduction.
Acknowledgements?
Yeah, an acknowledgement. Yeah. I'll put you guys in there.
Yeah. We'll take it.
I'll write your forward or
Oh,
whatever.
please do, because we're the same person, so
Yeah.
it'll go super well.
So a little bit of homework for Sydney. She needs to figure out her Enneagram.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
The personality test.
Yeah.
And you need to come back whenever.
Totally.
So we will, hopefully when this is done, maybe we can check back out.
Definitely.
Back up with you and see how you're doing.
Yeah.
And how the group's doing. And if you guys are still doing volleyball with shirts off, because I want to know this.
International trips as well. I don't know if I said that. But yeah.
No, you did not.
What?
Wait,
We go
how do you get on this?
Normally it's like every month, but obviously right now it's not happening.
Obviously.
Traveling's a little tricky right now. But yeah, there's stuff every month. For the most part, internationally, we go to crazy places. Antarctica, take
Whoa.
selfies with some penguins.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mexico, we do a big anniversary trip down in Mexico every year. It's the opportunities are endless. There's so much I always tell people it's really hard to be bored around here. It's really hard. It's impossible,
for sure.
actually. Yeah.
Good. Okay, Sydney. Anything you want to plug or say about?
I feel like I've said everything.
You've said it all.
I feel like I've said it all.
You've said a lot of good
I can't
things.
think of anything else. I talk so much. Everybody always tells me to
No,
stop
but
talking.
we got a lot of good things from you, Sydney. So
Awesome. Glad.
and we can
Sure.
probably talk for another 2 hours.
Oh, totally.
Definitely. So
I can talk for 4 hours alone to myself. So this is fun.
okay. Well, all right, everyone. Well, thanks, Sydney, for coming out.
No
We'll have
problem.
you again next time. Emma, anything else before we get out of here?
Nope, I'm
No?
good.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Date Podcast. Please subscribe and review if you liked what you hear. Send us an email at hello@datepodcast.com for any questions, comments, or show topics you'd like for us to discuss. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Most importantly, tell your friends about our show.